here that people can hear me, and I click this button at here that people can hear you, and I click this button here that they can see you.
They can hear me? That's still part of the deal.
I know. Greetings, everyone! Welcome to Records of Evil, the lawful evil D&D game set in modern-day Faerun. If you are joining us for the first time, where the hell have you been?
Yeah,
really,
where have you been, chat?
You should have been here. You should have been here.
How dare you?
So many misadventures. Monster platypus, worm
flump?
creatures, flump that kills
Worm
children.
horses in my hair?
Worm horses in Mishka's hair.
Mishka's just building a Pokedex.
Really
Yeah.
Flump, I choose you. Man, you see? Man,
Flump,
nice.
Flump, use child murder.
Gladly.
Use disguise.
No, I am just Asian gangster man. Yes.
Gotta catch 'em all. Murder monsters.
Technically kind of are. But there's been a lot of interesting misadventures that the characters have gone on, of course. And now they find themselves attending an elven wedding. Not just any elven wedding, the elven mafia. Turns out that all of them have some connections with the elven mafia. Mishka, Vercel, and Thursey were sort of dating some members of the elven mafia.
I wasn't.
No.
Ooh, they really missed out.
Thursday was the most in it. I think Misha was in this middle area. Of
Yeah, it was like, mistress, you say.
It's like certainly possible.
While Dox has done some work for the Elven Mafia. And by work, I mean people have mysteriously had tongues show out of their neck. Because we apparently made the Columbia necktie be Doc's signature move.
Sometimes they wake up at the bottom of a river.
Yes. With ironwood shoes.
Yeah.
Gonna sleep at the river with the ironwood shoes, you see? Meh. Anyway. So yeah. For plot reasons, you did decide to attend the wedding as, there is a member of this extended family of Diaston, in the modern day that is still alive. Granted, according to any records, doesn't have a living family, but might know about someone that's distantly related. You know, something like that. Just in case you decided, you know, your better lead was towards Mostica, with, I'm gonna forget. I'm not gonna open the map.
Don't open the map, please.
I thought about it for a second, and I decided not to open the map.
Everything will break.
Was it New Daggerford?
Yeah, I think so. It was either that or
New Daggerfall. No, Daggerfall is where you're going to.
Was it New Waterdeep?
New Waterdeep. New Daggerford, I think, was in Os.
Yeah, because I spent like 2 days just perusing the Faerun wiki because I was bored. I just looked up a bunch of shit.
Yeah. Some of these are better than others. That's to say the least.
New Waterdeep is where the person is, and then Dagger Falls is where the wedding is.
Yeah.
No, Dagger Falls is where you stop by on the way, was it?
Wedding is in Flan.
Wedding is in Flan.
Got it.
There was something in Dagger Falls that you were... I think it was more that I discovered it because, you know, it was...
Yeah, I was going to say, we talked about it because you thought it was
legally distinct.
It's legally distinct.
Yeah.
It has an S at the end. It's got more than one fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But anyway, regardless, last episode you headed for... Man, my brain is, like, blanking.
Flan.
Well, Flan, but you stopped at a city along the way.
Oh God, where did we stop? I don't remember.
I can look it up quickly. Oh man, I got this microphone and thing in a nice position, but then it's also horribly in the way of like the end. Of...
Where did we stop last session?
Last 7 days. It would have been the 5th. Zoom back to the 5th in my clockwise. Zental Keep.
Oh, that's the one.
Zental Keep. Go away, you. So you stop by Zental Keep, where you had a meeting of the Mafia, where they have requested very nicely, in their most Mafia kind of tone, that Docs takes care of a problem that they have. Very publicly, at the wedding. After the wedding is complete, at the after party, one Sana Aenarum must be eliminated, but it must be done by Volrid Zigalor, her right hand. Turns out Volrid Zigalor has, unfortunately, come along. So, we are now at the hotel. You've just learned that Volred Zigalor is here, unfortunately. Other than that, you know that the event is taking place at the Arboretum at Vigenvo Castle. Vigenvo. Whatever, it's in my chat. Someone could read. I will fast forward to the end of chat when we need to.
I don't know how to pronounce that. That looks...
What?
The Veljevo, Veljevo Castle. Yeah, it was do this for me on the day of my niece's wedding. It really was. You will do this for me on the day of my niece's wedding.
Yeah, it's insert Eastern European sounding name castle here.
Yes.
Veljevo, probably.
We're gonna go for whatever.
The pronunciation will be whatever it is at the time.
This sounds.
I mean, it seems relatively Spanish, so I like the something Veljevo.
It might be. Maybe there's a Spanish kind of thing to the names in that area. Let's just go with Castle. Yeah, that sounds good. Thanks, Muffin. So we'll say at Castle, insert name here. There's the Arboretum where the wedding is taking place. So wedding is. I think we're the day of the wedding, aren't we? Did we fast forward to that?
Yes.
So fast forward to the day of the wedding. You know for a fact that the person you're supposed to impersonate in a very public area post-wedding is here, unfortunately. What's your plan? What's everybody's plan? There's also a very old half-elven man that's here, related to Diastan, that you got to talk to.
Okay. So upon hearing the news that Doc's plan is going to be more complicated, he will close the door and shout obscenities in Elven for a little bit, because he planned so much for this. And then he will turn to the people in the room and be like, well, things are going to get a little complicated. Have I told them I have to kill someone?
They were in the room at the time.
All right, they were in the room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, this will get a little complicated. I may need someone to distract a person for me while I do my thing.
How would you like us to do that?
What kind of distraction?
Preferably one that leaves him alive, but not in the room. He's supposed to be framed for this. There's a box.
I have just put everybody over onto the appropriate map, which helps.
Okay, we're up here then.
Yeah,
Okay.
you are up. I am. Ping. Shift ping. Whoop.
We have very much left the box that we were apparently supposed to stay in.
I mean, that was just on this map, and I was like, whatever on this map with this freaking box. That's what you to be in.
We are in the box. Will you stay in the box? No promises.
Oh, I do. I have a suggestion. I can help.
Yeah, I do apologize. You will see something very violent if you decide to stick around and witness it. I will apologize in advance. It's been specifically requested.
Very well.
It's okay.
So, who's the person you want me to?
Docs will then shape change into the person.
Got it.
I'll just post this for the sake of chat.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll basically just be like, I'm gonna cast suggestion, but I'll be like, follow me, I have something to show you.
That could work. Yes, that could work very well. I think I'm good to go, and Docs will just go in to open up his suitcase and put back this very small knife he was going to use very violently.
Mm-hmm.
Because now he has a new plan.
Okay.
So yeah, the guy I will,
All right.
I might as well just do that.
Mm-hmm. So you're gonna try to use suggestion. Yeah. Well,
Maybe
draw the guy out of the room.
what's your
just-
plan to find him? This basically like right before the wedding. It's like a few hours. You know that
Is he
he's probably going to be
What
at
is
the
he?
wedding. He's going to be at the wedding, certainly arriving with the target, as he is here accompanying the target.
I mean, basically just... I mean, we could just wait till I get to a point where there's less people and an alleyway, and a split off into another room in the castle. Because this is at the castle, right?
Well, the wedding itself is taking place at the Arboretum, and they probably have something
Yeah.
nearby that they're setting up as like a. I forgot I have this up here.
Is it this spell?
No, it isn't. It.
Yeah, okay, it's this spell. In conjunction with your suggestion, Docs will say he can cast Hex on someone to make that easier for you.
Got it.
Okay.
I think this would work because a save is technical. It might work.
No, a save is not an ability.
No, it wouldn't work. But I must have misread that when I was planning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
there is one that does affect. Actually, curse. I'm pretty sure affects ability checks.
I'm gonna inform all of you of something very important that you should know that might come up. This is slightly important. They're going to be elves.
Right, so they have advantage on such things. I
Yes.
think.
Charmed and magic that can be put to sleep. I think
Yeah.
suggestion might not count as a
Suggestion
charmed
is
effect.
no suggestion. I'm pretty sure is a charm.
It.
You can
I don't.
basically you see creatures that can't be charmed are immune to this effect.
Yeah. Okay. So that puts full map plan.
Well, it can be charmed. He just would have advantage.
They can't.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure that's because it counts as a charm.
Yeah, if they specifically mention charm, I'll say yeah, it counts as it. I'll
Yep.
say.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll cast Bestow Curse first to give him disadvantage, making it.
I'll
a
let you guys
normal
talk. I gotta mute for a second on the stream. You
Sounds
might hear
like
me.
a good plan. Oh, didn't mute in time. Sorry. Because I cannot talk to him to get him away, despite being the best talker here. Which is unfortunate, though I think I might be able to do something else. Okay. I can try one other thing as well. I can try to finagle something with Phantasmal Force, because if he fails, no matter how silly it is, it has to make sense to them completely. They're convinced it's reality, no matter what.
Right.
So that's an option. I can try and use that to get them away.
Yeah, that could definitely help.
Turn to the stream now that I've worked that out.
I love how stupid Castle Force is.
Someone's yelling in your house.
There's yelling all over
Yes.
the place.
It happens.
Anyway. Yeah, so I'm probably just going to start by casting Bestow Curse at level 5, because that way it's not concentration.
Okay. Jobs just try to curse the dude.
It's
first.
touch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So kind of wander
You
by.
Accidentally bump into him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So gonna try to like bestow curse on
Do
him.
you have any information on what kind of person this is?
Yeah, I got a dossier.
He is
Okay.
very classic muscle type gangster, though not complete idiot. Seems he worked his way up in some of the Eastern organization as part of it. The woman that's basically the target is someone that has had influence and power over the Eastern side. There is no technical main family in the East side. It's been a lot of just investments and individuals sent over that most of the time the things closest to a family are out of Fae, where members of family are sent to like work with the Thayans because they apparently are where the illegal magic items comes. But areas like Thesk and Imtalor tend to be a little bit more out there, and also Mulhorand doesn't have any elven families in it. She's actually...
What's his relationship to the woman?
Bodyguard, right? Or no, right-hand
Bodyguard.
man.
right-hand man, I best describe
Okay.
it as. Effectively second in command of her operation as she's done it. She's managed to take over the criminal groups in Mulhorand that are connected to the Elven Mafia, and sort of formed something akin to her own family out there. It's not officially recognized as a family, but she's working towards that. And the thing is, she's also making threats towards the Dawn whose niece you're going to the wedding of. And she's been making kind of very secretive inquiries, which are very dangerous. And so now the Dawn's just like, she's overstepping her bounds. Eliminate her.
I also have another plan I could do,
Mm-hmm.
involving use of convincing via a message spell to get him to come away for a bit, of some form of like, hey, she's in danger, but not where she is. Meet me alone here, and I'll give you the information, kind of deal.
I mean,
It might work.
All of these might work. It
Yeah.
just depends on how.
He
things
certainly
go.
would probably
Let's-
recognize
let's-
message spell, because you have to think it's elves. There's plenty of cantrips to go around, especially in the high elves,
let's start with my Bestow Curse, see if I can get his Wisdom cursed.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically I choose an ability score, ability checks and saving throws made with that ability score are made at disadvantage for a duration, which will be a day. Or sorry, 8 hours. 8 hours is for the whole.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So once the after party begins to sort of get near him, curse him. That's the first part of the
Yeah.
plan. Then
Bump into him basically.
then maybe make a suggestion. Now the thing is, when are you planning on it?
Oh shit. There is a problem with this plan. Both of these are concentration.
That's why I'm casting it at 5th level. At 5th level, the duration is 8 hours, no
Oh,
concentration required.
Okay. Oh shit. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Only if you cast it at 3rd or 4th level is curse concentration.
Oh, okay.
Hmm?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, but yeah, Bestow Curse.
You have a stow curse followed by pops followed by a suggestion in order to drive the man.
And my backup plan will just be to try to convince him to come to a place somewhere that because I would maybe know a bit secluded. This plan's going on scout around a little bit, like a little bit of a secluded area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm going for the hey, because I'm using suggestion is to basically make this work, but I'll be like, hey, your mark is safe here. How about a good time?
Ooh.
That might work. The thing is, again, like,
It's
he's a right-hand man
suggestion,
more than a
though.
bodyguard, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
But it's suggestion. As long as it sounds reasonable, the spell takes the rest.
yeah, that's true, but, like, you have to actually make it sound like a reasonable thing, and, like, you don't know... You have to also sound like it's something that's manipulative to what you want it to do, because if you just say something, his like, good time might be different from what you think is a good time for him. You have to remember that, too. But we can get to that. We can see how well you do. We're getting the parts in place. The idea to use a combination of bestow, curse, suggestion, possibly some messaging. The object is to get him away from there. But regardless, you first have to attend a wedding ceremony. That's the first big thing that's going to happen. So all of you are going to get dressed in your, various outfits, looking very snazzy.
Yeah, Doc's in a vaguely elven sort of tuxedo.
Mm-hmm.
Very snazzy.
Everybody else in their appropriate dresses.
Mishka with a mushroom man and a bird.
Yeah.
There's looking a little bit skimpy.
Personal choices, it's probably fine.
Mm-hmm. Mushroom man, bird,
My
skimpy.
personal choice, Robin made it.
Yeah.
Thursdays was made by Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Designed by Robin.
Mm-hmm. Thursdays looks like she's trying to pick up a date at the wedding.
Oh, she's one of those people.
Yes. Mm-hmm. The wing the person with like the black, like red and black the reddish black feathers on her back, wings, is like trying to pick up a date.
Who wouldn't be into that?
Yeah. Your wings look very evil. Thank you.
And as soon as she speaks, it seals the deal with that accent.
Mm-hmm. Cause she's like the bad, do we have the? I don't remember what accent I gave Thursday. Cause Scottish B.
B is I think Thursday was Cockney.
Oh, thank you very much.
And we're doing this at the wedding after party, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the murder's at the after party.
Mm-hmm. It will be after the very long ceremonial dancing, if you recall. So it's the long wedding thing, the ceremonial dancing, and then finally, after everything else, is the food time, when there's a lot of hanging around and drinking and stuff, that portion of it. Probably with a lot of elven wine, a lot of, like, elf food dishes and stuff like that. Maybe a few brought in from other cultures. Only a few. For some exoticness. And so maybe, like, elven-human fusion foods. Ooh, fusion. Anyway, regardless, you'll arrive at the Arboretum outside of the castle. It is a really nice place, to be honest. Like, it's a well-maintained kind of garden area. It looks as though they tried to maintain it in such a way that it would have been similar to the garden grounds that an extensive castle during your period would have been. Like the trees, the lawn, it's all cared in that certain way. Though they've added in certainly a couple of other things. They have like small greenhouses across the area that have various types of more exotic things in it. They have a couple of actually like fruit tree groves that are well maintained, and it's obvious that there's a lot of people working here. They have a specific area that they seem they've kind of set up. That's a kind of area that looks like it's both very open and a little closed off. It's kind of got a very like simple roof over top of it. It looks as though the roof itself over this like area is probably like just kind of like a sheeted metal, kind of like metal plated kind of thing. So it's very like simple metallic. It's kind of steepled just to keep rainwater off of it, and it's just covering over this large area with kind of these what looks to be like marble pillars kind of at the end. So it looks like, you can definitely tell that the roof can be taken down. You can see that like they have it up because there's a threat of some rain today, and they don't want rain on the wedding. Or maybe they do, but at this point in time, they've chosen not to. Anyway, there's like this nice carpet going down the center, of course, a kind of like a blue carpet that's kind of like accented by what looks to be like these flowering vines at the ends of it. Like very fine wooden chairs in which there's all these kind of flowers woven into the backs of it, set up for the guests. You know, there's actually like a couple of people walking around, serving glasses of elven wine to people that are waiting as the wedding is kind of assembled. There is what appears to be, rather than like a band, there seems to be a kind of chorus of elven singers kind of up front, ready to start kind of singing along with it. With the ceremony, as everybody's kind of settling in. You will, of course, notice a lot of people. You will, if you're looking for them, I'm not going to have you roll. I will say you will notice your target and both your targets, technically. The assassination one and the intimidation, no. English, God. Not intimidation. It's imitation. Wow. The word intimidation. Yes. Imitation broke from my brain there. Yeah. Wow. Imitation target are also there. You can also spot there is particularly an older half-elven man that I'm sure you were looking into because everybody remembered he existed and he was the actual reason to being here. Cough, 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 cough.
Yes, the actual reason.
Uh-huh. He's totally there. Totally.
I'm just gonna keep an eye on my targets.
Okay. All right.
Although I will flag down Purcell and sort of whisper them to I have a little something extra I can do to make things a little easier for you. And I'll explain I can cast Bane on a target. And make it more likely that they'll fall for your tricks.
Mishka, there's this nice lady next to you who says,
Yes.
so what's your relation to the family? That's some nice boy and mushroom man that you got there. Myosian? Yeah. You know, I'm a distant cousin of the lady there, you know, on the groom's side. He's a very nice boy. He was always a kind of a little, you know, and I thought he was always going to end up with a nice elven, well, not an elven woman. Turns out you don't know them quite right. Nothing against it. No, nothing feels bad against it. But that's what we always thought on our side of the family. Who knew he had a manly side to him?
Who knew? Yeah. I mean, she's just kind of nodding along. She's just totally trying to completely bypass having gotten asked questions. And if it comes back to asking about anything about her, she will go on about the animals.
Okay. You have small talk with the weird lady next to you then.
Yes. She'll be like looking out at the people that they're supposed to be paying attention to, but mostly like trying to distract this lady now.
Okay. Vercel, is there anything?
Better idea. I cast Bane for the bestow curse. You cast Bane for the suggestion.
Okay.
Because Bane is a concentration spell, so I can cast it for the bestow curse because that's not concentration. But I'm going to need the concentration for the suggestion, and that's when you can cast Bane.
Got it.
Lots of baning here. Lots of baning.
Yep.
So
Finally use my warlock abilities.
So everybody settles into your seats, and the wedding begins in earnest. Of course, the kind of ceremony begins with this like a kind of like a priest figure kind of moving forward towards the front and giving a very very long speech to begin with about the, like, you know, it seems to be almost like a lecture about like you get the feeling that it's like a little bit of like the elven creation myth, but kind of modernized, but also given in such a way that feels like, you know, a little too elven superiority-y, you know, a little too much in there, certainly. Just a hint of it. That small hint of, like, you know, elven racism in there, definitely.
Yeah,
Stella represses all urges to start fires.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, after that, the bride and groom come in from opposite sides of like the room, kind of coming up rather than that kind of main carpet in which there's kind of like the priest kind of came up on. They'll kind of come in from areas to the side, in which you will notice that there is. It takes you a second, but for a second you're like, there are two brides? And before you realize that one of them is a woman, and one of them is an incredibly beautiful man, you think. One of them obviously has, you know, breasts and has a female form. The other one just is the most effeminate man you have ever seen in your existence. Like...
androgynous.
Like, super androgynous. Like, you know... If you didn't hear that that was supposed to be a man, you wouldn't have thought it was a man. That kind of thing.
Docs is into it.
Mm-hmm.
Misha's totally into it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. They'll have more of the ceremony. It will go on for hours. Hours. As you heard it would. They go through all these various rituals and astoundings and stuff before the finale kind of reaches to each of them kind of giving a speech on, you know, a speech that's a lot longer than you would want, but it's a speech that gives off, you know, like the various types of things that you would do in the course of the hundreds of years you're going to be together. Very elven. When she speaks, you know, she's got a kind of beautiful, soft voice. And when he speaks, he's also got a very high-pitched voice and sounds very feminine. Mm-hmm. And next to you, Mishka, the woman's like crying, like, I promised myself I wouldn't cry, but it's so beautiful. I'm sure he's still on the bottom. As she kind of snickers to herself. Anyway, they will exchange these like flower crown wreaths that each of them had weaved themselves. Kind of like that's kind of like your symbolism, almost like rings and stuff. They can give a deep and long kiss as the wedding concludes with a, you know, kiss the bride. Everything is complete as the main part of the wedding. At very least, they're married. It was long, it was tedious, it was boring. But it was a wedding. And now the next part happens. The guests are asked to be escorted to another area. You're kind of taken away to what could be akin to another small kind of building. This one doesn't have a roof up, unlike the last one. This one is just kind of an open air area. Of course, that the chorus was singing the entire time, so more power to them. That chorus of elves had, like, you know, like a for like 3 hours straight. Had some power behind those vocal cords.
They're not speaking for a week now.
They train for it. These are Elven's wedding singers. They are ready for this. You know, this is what they do for a living. Probably also because, you know, if any of you, you know, would have remembered, Elven weddings back in the day were probably only like maybe an hour and a half. They've extended to 3 hours over the last 2,000 years. They've become more elaborate, more insane.
I don't remember them being this long. I've been to one before. It was never this long.
You're like, oh, how could they have made this longer?
I think the last time Docs was at an Elven wedding, yeah, he had to kill the groom.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure that was the case.
Mm-hmm. Now the dance begins. It starts with a very simple dance, of course, between the bride and groom, and then it becomes like this, almost like a ball dance, where many of the people that were in the wedding parties and stuff, and a lot of the people that are part of it are kind of going into dancing. So, of course, you will see there are certain individuals that won't. The old man whose name escapes me, which might be in your notes, which I'm not opening at the moment, Diastan's distant half-elf relative, is not dancing. He's old. He is frail. He's probably at most, you can see he's, tapping his foot along with the, the music a little bit. Even though it's not the kind of music, it's very, rhythmic, very, Victorian ballroom, dancing, so it's a lot of, string instruments, classical, music kind of things. Except in this case, it's very, ethereal, a lot of harp music, a few kind of string instruments, and a different group of people, doing, along with that, too. So it's got some more, chorus to it, too, of, making it very elfin, I would say. Or at least, that kind of idea of elfin that kind of sticks out there. Just, that's why there's elfin punk rock, because they try to get away from this.
Elfin punk rock. I want to hear that.
Uh-huh. They don't use words. They just, use a lot of those tones, but in very deep ones. So it's like,
Jesus. I'm sure someone loves it.
Yeah, so of course they're all black, and he's got the spikes and the leathers and stuff, too, while they're doing it. And they got, the heavy metal riffs in the background. Yeah, elfin punk rock.
It's the perfect genre for the Winter Ladrian to sing.
Mm-hmm. Regardless, though, that's not what's going on now. Your target, whose name I have to quickly look up because I'm forgetful and already forgetting, Miss Anarin, is already, she's dancing. She's actually dancing with her associate, I should just put their names both in chat again so I don't have to scroll back up. At least their last names. Anarin and Zilkalor. There we go.
Okay.
Now that can be found easily at the bottom. So she's dancing with Zigalor. He seems very not as into it, but he's still doing it. There are definitely people that are looking towards your lot.
Doc says he's just kind of disguised as just a very plain-looking elf.
Mm-hmm.
He'll just go up to you, Mishka, so this very plain-looking elf, and then he'll kind of extend his hand and ask for a dance. But as he does it, you'll kind of see the face flash to Doc's, and then back.
Mm-hmm. This elven man will approach you, Vercel.
Yep.
Looks like you don't got a person to dance with. I don't either. It's tradition.
Very well.
And I
actually do.
Mm-hmm. I just found myself a made man. Yeah.
Just found myself a what?
A made man.
Made man. Okay.
Yeah, made man. You ever been one of these things? You associate with family at all?
A long time ago. I haven't been to one in a while. You seem like a nice person here. Perhaps we could get together later. Perhaps.
He will be a little handsier than you want.
This is an elf with very particular tastes.
Mm-hmm. Or just anything tastes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thursday will be intimidating, and therefore...
No dance for Thursday. unfortunate. How sad.
Well, not quite. This nice older elven woman will kind of come up to her. You there? My husband has passed away long ago. I do not normally dance, but you, young lady, need to dance. A tradition. It will get you work on your hips, help with the birthing. Come now, come now. I have great birthing hips. You dance with me. Normally I would do this with the most young, but it is obvious that you are too much of a woman for many a man. Don't worry, I will teach you. I will teach you ways of making them yours. You will crush their hips. I crushed many a hips before I settled down with my hobby. So that's going to be what Thursey's getting. An old elven lady who's teaching her how to elven dance. I want everybody just to give me a perform check to see how well you dance the elven dance.
Oh boy.
Since I'm dancing with you, Mishka, you get a bardic inspiration.
I'm gonna roll this d20 for Thursey. Wow, she's terrible at dancing.
Does that mean
You have a d8 to add to your roll.
nice? So, get to do performance. And then
I considered buffing myself with guidance, but then he started getting handsy, and I didn't care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice.
I gotta be honest. Thursey, it's passable. It's not great. It's passable. I kept it like a DC 5 for passable. Those of you who reach 10, hey, guess what? You put on at least a decent form of the dance that's appropriate there. Docs, you know what you're doing. You've been to one of these before. You remembered like the right dance moves and stuff, and and Mishka, you definitely. I'm gonna say with your bardic inspiration, you ensured that Mishka kept up with you. You know, you used your knowledge, to kind of like keep the both of you were doing the job very well. Versal, you're just. I mean.
Versal.
You're being led around a lot.
Most of my attention is on he goes for the butt. I move his hand back up to the waist.
Mm-hmm.
Know.
He'll comment of like you're not too light on your feet. That's okay. I can do all the work.
Oh Jesus! Please consume this man after the wedding. Just like eat his face.
If I can get him into a secluded spot, I might.
So there's at least an hour of dancing. They go through a number of songs during this time. This one, like things. And after they go through a lot of their traditional stuff, they will actually switch on to something that's a little bit more probably modern elf, and that's a little bit more upbeat. Some kind of I would say some are combined between a very traditional ballroom dance and maybe something you'd see from the 1920s, 1930s. So, that kind of a little bit of that upgrade, of that kind of what's the flappers and stuff during that time period?
God. Yeah, the flappers.
But it's a ballroom version of kind of dances that they would be doing.
Right.
So it's it's an elven party dance, and it's also elven Mafia, so they're doing a lot of 1920s dance, elvenized. So definitely. So that'll kind of end up with it. So it's a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more. They'll bring in a couple of other instruments. They'll bring in some woodwind instruments. So it's not just harps and a couple other string instruments. And someone has a little one of those hand cymbals or something that they kind of put out a couple of times. Anyway, once that is done, there is akin to a little bit of traditional I wouldn't call them games, but little traditional things. There will be a time when everybody is going to give them the opportunity to give a little speech about the married couple. Whether you're connected to them or not, it'll be I'm like a distant cousin. I don't know them very much, kind of thing. I'm here because this reasons. They'll give a reason why they've arrived at this wedding. They'll give like a reason why they feel like this wedding is appropriate. So everybody is given that chance. Each of you is given that chance. What are you saying about the lovely couple? Why are you here, and what do you think about the lovely couple?
Doc will probably say something along the lines, though he doesn't know the bride, because he generally doesn't. He knows it's her uncle.
Yes, her uncle.
Her uncle very well. And is a very good friend to the family and wishes them a happy rest of their life.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you'll give out some traditions. You're like, I'm here, you're a friend of the families, you don't know her very well, the uncle really, which everybody will be like, that makes sense. That's definitely an excuse. As, the bride's mother is there, certainly. You don't see the bride's father, but the uncle seems to be taking the place of what effectively could be the bride's father in this case, But, the uncle's got his wife there too, but he's been kind of like stepping in, it seems like, at least, as a more fatherly figure in this entire thing. I'm going to roll another D20 for Theresy and see how well she does. She comes up with the most bullshit lie she can think of and just kind of goes on about that. Nice. She got 19 on deception because she
right.
Wasn't probably going to get otherwise anything better. Mishka, Vercel, what are you two saying? I can allow you to bullshit it if you want. You can either use deception, persuasion, which we'll just let the dice say, or you can come up with something on your own, like Doc's. Up to you if you want to roleplay it or not. Why don't we start with... I'm going to roll a d4 and see who I'm starting with, and I'm forcing to go first. Odds, Mishka, evens, Vercel. Evens, Vercel! Hey, Worm, what is Vercel doing? The dice have said that. Hot hands.
Let's see. How much do I actually know about this?
Probably not a lot.
Very basic Docs told you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
I'm just trying to think. I'm gonna roll and then determine what I say off of that.
Oh, I like that. Get the roll out the way first. This is when it's like, oh my god,
all right. We could just you bullshit.
It's a lovely couple. I've known elves all my life. They're a wonderful group of people. I expect them all to. I hope you live a long and happy life, full of the pleasures that the elven people have brought to my life.
Exactly. Great.
I like that.
Yep. It's also been decided now that cakes are humans, wedding pies are halflings, and hand cakes and cookies are here for the elves of various types.
Yeah.
That was okay. That was a great.
I like the idea of the wedding pie for halflings. I really do.
So good.
Okay.
Anyway, there you go. The roll said it all. Mishka, you got a turn now.
All right. So Misha's gonna be going off of So she's theoretically, right, been small talking with like a bunch of people now.
Yes.
So
unfortunately.
So theoretically, she should have some basic idea of who these people are.
Yeah.
right?
Mhm. You got at least
don't-
that going for you. Yeah.
I don't know if that's what she can necessarily do
Mhm.
in this case, though. What are the roles that I'm allowed to do?
You could roll a persuasion just to sound very nice in general. It's kind of like your general charisma. You could roll a deception and try to bullshit some of it and just like come up with a couple of things in there. Like, I'm totally related to these people in this way, you know, something like that. You know, rather than just like, oh yeah, I'm, there are a couple of people that are like, like I'm here as part of like, a guest, my friend here is the main person that I'm a little familiar with the
I'll
family,
absolutely go for Dox's like +1.
Yeah, your Dox is +1.
Yeah,
that's fine.
That's what
then
Niche is gonna go
I would
for.
say then stick with the persuasion.
Yeah.
I mean, you still do a pretty decent job. You're not like flowery. You're not things. You're probably not putting on the best kind of like speech, but it's not one that's like embarrassing. Definitely,
Have a
Nice.
wedding.
She will like show off her bird a little bit and stuff like that. They're like, hey, you guys are cool too.
They were like, this was a great excuse to hang out with like, this cool bird and this mushroom dude. As the mushroom dude's giving like a thumbs up, which you think is a thumb, but it doesn't really have fingers like a normal person does. So it's just like
doing its best.
Maybe it's a finger up or something, But it's doing its thing, It's like, I'm cool too.
You just have like Baby Groot with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Mushroom Groot and the bird who's like skrak, skrak, skrak. Posing, putting up its plumage. Of course, like at the end of it, he'll like kind of like pop behind your head and like spread its wings. So you got like the wings going with your like crown that you've got for like the druid crown. Yeah. So it's just like, looking really spiffy there. And a lot of the speeches will go, and there's a couple that stand out as pretty not great, and there's particularly one that seems very bad. A man who will be like, who is apparently the groom's cousin, will be very drunk. Obviously very drunk. When there shouldn't have been drinks to begin with at this point in time. Who knows where he got them. It's been 4 hours, too. It has been 4 hours. He shouldn't have been drinking. He somehow is drunk already, which is an embarrassment of his, because someone's like, does he have like, what? He's been just sneaking drinks or something? Like, there was a couple of drinks you could have had before the wedding started, when they were handing out some wine while people were waiting around. That was about it. He could have been pounding those away, but again, it's been 4 hours. 4 hours already. How is he still, drunk then, if he's been drinking a lot then? Anyway, he's obviously wasted. Somehow he's been drinking a lot. Maybe he snuck off, grabbed a bottle and wasted it. He's going to express his eternal love for the groom.
Oh!
And that he's disappointed in this entire thing. And he's like, he was the right one for him, kind of thing. He's like, just because I was experimenting a little bit in my youth, I did love you too, but I found my love for whose name again is eternally these names are gonna escape me. Shalila is so much stronger. She proved to me that I could be a man too. Mm-hmm. As you, anybody that wants to give me a perception check, please do right now.
Perception.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Okay. First, Vassal, you want to check just here? Mm-hmm.
It's Cohen.
Mm-hmm.
One day, I'll like sort of.
Okay, I will say at very least, Dox and Vassal can notice a couple of things. Shalila will kind of snicker when a little bit under her breath when he mentions the groom mentions proving to be a man, and you'll also notice that she's getting a little handsy with her husband, like that maybe she's definitely the dominant one in this relationship. Mm-hmm.
I'll like lean over to Mishkin. I think I see the next person I'm gonna have to kill.
Mm-hmm.
He's nicely escorted out as he's crying, weeping. It's like there's a little bit of talking for a little bit, but everything then returns back to normal. There's some chatting with the Dawn. It's obvious that the Dawn is going to send not the murder people,
The break legs people. Instead.
No, the Dawn is being a little nice now, with a little bit of send the missus to go talk about it now and see if and then keep the break leg people on hold just in case. He already has one arranged murder. He doesn't have to worry about the other one yet. Unless it becomes an issue that must be taken care of.
She just keeps doing it every wedding that happens. Then I'm gonna have to do it.
We are 4 hours into a 12-hour wedding, and it is time for the next part of it. Because remember, there's a lot more to this wedding. But we should take our break. We're about an hour in. So we're going to take a break. I'm going to say this might be a little longer one. The phone call I received, I do have to take care of a few things for it. It shouldn't take too long, but expect maybe a 5 to 10 minute break, I'm going to say at this point in time, depending on how long that goes. I have to make a few phone calls about that, make sure everybody knows, because they should be contacted. Alright, anyway, I hope everybody, if you need a drink, snack, bathroom break, this is a great one to grab a snack, especially something you might have to heat up in the microwave, this might be it. Go ahead and do that. We're going to take a bit of a longer break here as I take care of that stuff, and we'll be back, again, 5 to 10 minutes from now. So, see you in a little bit to continue the Elven weddings, which, the most traditional ones, as I said last week, take 12 hours. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of partying in there, too. There's 4 to 5 hours of partying. So, you only have 3 more hours to go through of bullshit. Cough, cough. Oh, actually, 2 more, because I'm saying this entire thing of the guests probably took an hour or 2. That probably took a while. Anyway, so back in a bit. Go back now. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. All right. So, the wedding has gone on for a good number of hours already. You're probably, at least 5 hours deep into the wedding at this point in time. Whew. It has been an event. It is long, it is involved, it is all day. I cannot for the life of me remember what I said the entire wedding was going to be last week. I had a list of everything that it was going to be. But I'm going to try to change it a little bit right now, if I was forgetting anything. Because I said it was going to be 12 hours. I knew that much. But there's going to be a lot of, the partying section. There's going to be, the dinner and then the party. And the dinner is its own thing, kind of, that there's a big dinner. And then there's, a kind of just, a party kind of celebration after said dinner. After you have the wedding mini cakes and cookies. That's the Elven way of doing it. Anyway, I will keep it a long story short since we've hit up most of the main moments here. You're going to get to the dinner part of it. So your orders were going to be public at the kind of party portion of it. So you're getting close to that. Here's another big question. When do you want to approach the old half-elven man? You never discussed
going to?
That's the plot reason we're here.
Yeah, remember that was the plot reason you're here? Related to Diastog?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know, I thought this was more related to the Elven stuff, but, yeah. I mean, I guess we could ask him for, we could probably just get in contact with him to find out more about his relatives.
If you guys are doing the, when are you doing the assassination bit?
That's at the end of the wedding, right? The after party?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll have a dinner that's probably going to be an hour or so, and then there's the last bit is 3 hours of just celebratory, probably at that point in time, small snacks, drinks, little areas of dancing, a lot more upbeat music, chatting with people, all that kind of stuff. It's just a lot more like informal the last kind of 3 hours that people are supposed to kind of be there. It's during that time period that theoretically you'd be allowed to leave. It would still be considered rude if you don't hang around for at least an hour for the party part of it. You don't have to be there the entire 3 hours. If you're really nice, you do.
Right. I was just curious because if they're going to be busy, that means you can easily talk to him in the meantime. But if we're all like free right now, we can probably talk to him.
Yeah.
Okay. You can approach him. You've got some time. It's dinner time. You got a little bit of time before the assassination.
Also, this was the super old one, right?
Yes, the like really old.
Yeah.
Then his name is Ronald Styland.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure it was the right one when I gave you the name, because there's like 5 names here.
You see him that he's kind of like enjoying like what looks to be a plate of like mashed root vegetables. It's obvious that he's very old and decrepit, but it's not like he has anybody looking after him. He's obviously able to at least basically take care of himself.
Right.
He's able to get around. He just doesn't seem to do a lot of getting around. Controlled movements, kind of things like that at this point in time. He's decrepit, not infirm. Not infirm. Whatever.
Venerable.
He's venerable. There you go.
So who's talking with him? Me and who else?
Theoretically, we all could, unless Docs is going to go do something.
Docs hasn't got much to do besides kill a person later.
So also come talk, I guess.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yep. I'm just wondering if I'm going to be making all the charisma rolls, in which case, well, right.
I'll do the primary chatting. Feeding information, because I've forgotten a lot of it.
Mr. Stein.
Oh. Yes? Wow. What do you want? Speak quickly!
You have a moment to talk about any... We're looking for, like, relatives, right?
Yeah, if he's got anything left. Like, there's nothing really on paper, but that doesn't mean he doesn't know about something,
Specifically, we're looking for Mark Ston.
Okay, I will...
The one in Waterdeep.
Ask that.
You're looking for what now?
A relative of yours, Mark Ston, they're somewhere in New Waterdeep. We're just wondering if there's,
I don't know of any relatives in New Waterdeep. If they are, they're distant. I mean, dead distant. You're talking to the wrong person if you think I'm related there. You have to remember that the split off was like over 1,000 years ago, so he probably doesn't know about those folks. He might know about people in his section of the woods, more or less.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember. Okay, so now I don't remember who was related to what, because like there's Jessica Stone, Mark.
It's him, and then there's the others.
The others are all related to each other, and they're on like one half of the family that ended up in New Waterdeep.
Right.
And his half of the family ended up here, and theoretically he might be the last one of his half of the family.
Okay, so it's more like, so he's more of the elven half continuum, and they're more of the human half continuum.
Okay. I don't know what I would say here. Well, do you have any other family around here we could ask?
Family? They're all dead. The bastards gone out before me. My wife died before me. My kids died before me. Never had any grandchildren. My cousins. Aunts, uncles, all dead. Just little old me. What, you want to see if prove you're some kind of relative? See if you're important enough for the old estate? I'll let you know. Estate's worth shit. Yeah, nice big old house. That's about it. No ancient treasures, no bank accounts, no nothing special. All the investments do just enough to pay for the house and anything I need. Nothing major. Just for any utilities and anything need to maintain the place. Couple of servants. Nothing special. A groundskeeper. And a butler. Just in case I need some help with something. But as you can see, I'm very good at taking care of myself.
How long has this estate been in your family?
At least 10 generations at this point in time. Probably longer. The old tale... He's gonna like kind of look curiously at you for a second, you know, and then be like... The old tale says that, when the first of my lineage took it over, his father, Elven Man, was the one that invested in it, gave it to him. Whether that's true or not, I can't say for sure.
Well, the person we're looking for is, and this is going to be lying out of my ass, just to try and get information out of him, is in a lot of trouble, and we need to make sure that they don't, he'll make a gun gesture to his head, and make sure they're still alive by the end of it. I'll roll my deception.
Okay. He's gonna just kind of like shake his head and be like, think that the elven blood deep within my veins went this direction. I tell you, should have stuck with what my family always was in: investment and business, merchant all out. Granted, families shrunk over the years. Well, just because of various reasons. None my fault. But it was always much more honest. Who am I to complain? I'm sure very awful things were done by my ancestors. Well,
What was that last thing you said? I didn't hear it.
Very awful things were done by my ancestors.
Well, we've all got at least a little blood on our hands.
So you say. I don't recall having any on my hands. My hands have always been clean. Honest business, honest day's work.
Well, there was a, the person we're looking for is a subset of your lineage that broke off a couple, about 1,000 years ago.
1,000 years ago? It's quite a ways. Where'd you hear about them?
It's, well, a relative from their side talked about some of their ancient ancestry, and we dug into it. But like I said, he said, the person we're looking for related to them may be in danger, and you were more readily accessible than some of the other ones we might be able to contact in finding them.
So you went to a distant relative in hopes that they may have heard something, kind of connected together? No, there's been no family reunions on the deep side. Nothing of the spark. Maybe fortunate, maybe unfortunate. But if you're looking for an individual, unfortunately, I don't think I can help you that way. My side is, unfortunately, fairly dead. If there's someone left out there, I don't know about them. Sorry to say. Who knows, there could be. Just somebody hidden out there. Left.
Is there any sort of family crest that we could use to identify someone? some symbology that has lasted the centuries.
There it is. He's going to pull a ring off his finger and put it down. Click. That's something passed down. You'll have to make sure to separate it out. It's obviously, it's more of a costume jewelry. The symbol is like set, but it's more of a costume. You don't take out the more expensive ones. I've got about a dozen of these here. Replicas of the nice one. Kept in a bank vault somewhere. One of the few expensive things left over. The house crest. It was created by combining a bit of a crest from our elven side back in the day and a human family that was part of us. So, depending on where they more fall on the spectrum, they might recognize that. Maybe not. It has been a long time since a lot of relatives separated, and it sounds like you're diving deep into my background.
May I keep this?
Go ahead. As I said, I've got like a dozen of them.
Thank you.
Now we're done here.
We are. You enjoy the rest of your meal, sir. The dogs will get up.
Enjoy the party.
The music's too loud. Alright. He'll go back to his meal. And you'll be left to your own devices.
Well, we've got some lead at least, I suppose.
Minorest of leads, although we may be able to persuade someone into our pair with the promise of a dying ancestor or dying relative's estate, if need be.
It's true. Money is a motivator for a lot of people.
That it is.
I mean, ritual has to be voluntary. It doesn't have to be voluntary for the same motives.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't have to be for the power of Asmodeus. Could be the power for something else.
Power of money.
There's plenty of surrogate mothers out there that have done it for the power of money.
Yep.
Anyway, okay. What's your plan now? You've had your conversation.
Well, probably now of the assassination bit.
Yeah.
The assassination bit. Alright.
Fast for that.
The dinner will finish up. The party part will begin. At this point in time, again, like, it's a lot of, like, what we would describe as our part of, like, a wedding. That's that kind of, like, milling about, post-wedding, pre-dinner or something. You know, there's a lot of milling about, chatting and stuff. That happens now. You know, this is kind of the end of their shift of things. So there's a lot of, like, you know, the area where the dinner was is kind of cleaned up, and people are kind of, like, you know, have, like, an open area. There's another, like, kind of, like, little dance floor for people that might want to, like, dance. As there's kind of, like, a little bit, like, just simple upbeat music, kind of folksy, I would say, elven folksy, kind of, like, nice that way. There is certainly, like, little appetizers and stuff going away. Like, I would say, like, they're a little accoutrements, maybe not appetizers, but something like, you know, you might have for dinner, like a little after dinner stuff. So, like, a combination of, like, little, like, finger foods, little, like, finger desserts and stuff that kind of are going around. Probably they have, like, a setup for stuff if you need it with some, like, kind of fruits and stuff. You can probably request a few things. There's definitely an open bar at this point in time. Like, you could have gotten drinks during dinner and stuff like that. Now it is certainly a big old open bar of stuff, you know?
Nice.
So there's a lot of drinking, merriments.
This is not the after party yet?
This is like the beginning of the after party. I'm kind of saying.
Beginning of the after. Okay.
Yeah, the after party is going to involve. There's like all the things that are involved with the after party as this beginning.
Okay.
You know, like they're cleaning up the area, setting up a small table. There's like the folksy band is beginning to play their music. You know, some people are doing a little bit of dances. There's a lot of chatting going along. Kind of like a fruit spread up that's being set up. A little plate, like people with like a combination of finger foods / desserts kind of going around. You know. For anybody that wants anything like post dinner or feels like a snack or something afterwards, because again, like you did have a very nice like probably like 6-course meal after like I don't know, like 9 hours. So I mean, like you certainly weren't eating a lot for a lot of the days. So that's why it was a lot of big food once, and now it's like a lot of like, you know, just snacking on stuff for the next while kind of thing.
All right, that makes sense. I suppose before it all goes down, Docs is gonna actually go over towards like Mishka and just chat for a bit.
Okay.
If that is acceptable. Or if Mishka can be like, "No, go away. I won't talk to my bird."
You know what?
Doc's gonna like come up to you and just chat with you for a moment.
Right.
So what's your plan after all this?
After. What do you mean all this? The wedding?
No, everything after you found the person and done your thing.
Well, this is now existential crisis for Mishka. She doesn't think that. I suppose whatever Asmodeus asks of me next.
I suppose that's fair.
I don't really know much outside of the cult, I suppose.
Well, there's always time to learn if you feel like doing something else, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose I've never thought of it.
Well, after all this, after you've done your thing, gotten your person, my employment will be over. If you wouldn't mind, maybe stick around a little bit as friends instead of co-workers.
That wouldn't be trouble.
Right. That's good. Wouldn't want to upset the platypus by leaving.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure they'll be very happy to have you around.
Hopefully.
The worms, I'm sure, will also appreciate the company.
Well, we'll see about that one.
No pressure.
Everybody loves the worms. Everybody loves the worms.
Oh no, the worms. Disgusting.
Yeah, I know. Everybody
You'll learn
loves
to
me.
love the worms. Don't worry about it.
Couldn't have rolled well on like the fox.
Nope.
I didn't have any control over it. I literally rolled pretty decently for all of them, except for like the first, like the hippo guys. Those guys didn't like me at all, but the others didn't care about me. The worms decided that it was a nest.
So, at this point in time, everybody's doing their things. Everybody's kind of chatting a lot. You will see that Anarin and Zigalor are kind of hanging around, chatting with what looks to be a number of various individuals that are, you know, part of the entire Mafia kind of group here. You can see that, like, you know, they're just chatting with various Mafia people. It's obvious that Inaran is kind of like the main one kind of chatting, and Zigalor is more just kind of hanging around with her, and then also, like, just eating snacks and stuff still. Even after dinner, you know, he's definitely just, like, chewing on some things. Occasionally, like, he'll be brought up in a conversation and kind of, like, seemingly mention something. And you could easily overhear him, like, commenting on how, like, he seems to be enjoying a lot more of, like, the tiny, like, you know, hand cakes and stuff, too. Eating probably way too many of them. It's like,
just
this is
basically
really
like, Docs,
good.
are you ready?
Would Docs know that now is probably maybe the time to start it?
Could be. It's any time now. You have 3 hours of party, and we're saying, well, like, this is probably like a half an hour into the party when you finally like everything's kind of set up and running. You know, the party part of everything.
Okay.
So certainly she is doing stuff, and it is public and stuff like that now.
No time like the present.
It's probably best to do it while there's a lot of people and a lot of room for things to slip away.
Yeah, I mean, get more people talking. All right, let's do it.
Bane and bump bestow curse is how I'm gonna start.
Okay. So you're gonna start with Bane. So you could keep it one creature. 16?
DC 16 charisma saving throw.
Okay, let's roll this d20. You said charisma saving throw. Okay.
Yep.
Let me just check something here. Wow, now I've got large amount of noise in my background. Of course I do.
At least it's not construction trucks backing up.
Okay. You cast Bane on him.
Okay. Then it's gonna be a bestow curse with a bump at level 5. Again, another DC 16. This one's wisdom.
Okay. I'm gonna just...
Also, he has a D4. Because of Bane, he has he rolls all D4 and subtracts that from his.
Okay. Roll D4 here. Just be like, watch what you're doing. I'm eating cakes here. You do not think your curse took hold.
Oof.
Dang.
Well,
He's just gonna get advantage against the next thing, although you can now Bane him.
Okay, I will attempt to Bane with FIFA 5 Fates. Docs will like rub his hand together because it's a warlock thing and it looks maybe special, and like a little bit of a tarot card will appear and then apparate.
That's probably a pass.
This man makes his goddamn saves.
He does. He does.
He only failed the Bane save, and he barely failed that one with his charisma bonus.
Well, let's hope his luck has run out, as I'm gonna try and suggest him.
All right.
Actually, wait. Can I? Is there a way to increase your DC if you roll like guidance or something?
I don't believe so.
What's up,
I
kitty?
don't believe so
Sneezy?
either.
Allergic to something? Hope you're not allergic to you. That'd be weird.
Actually, bless. You can. Do you have bless?
I don't.
Oh wait, no. That's add a number to your saving throw roll, not add a number to.
Yeah.
I misread it for a second.
I don't think I get blessed anyways.
Anyway, well, let's just go for suggestion.
Okay, boop boop.
I'll be like, hey, you want to come with me?
No!
To show you.
Why you bump into me? Now you trying to proposition me? Don't like your kind. No offense, Skills. You ain't my type. Now, if you want to know about cakes, I'm going to give you some suggestions. That's about it.
This went utterly terribly.
As always.
Okay, so, right.
I grabbed NPC stats that were appropriate, and it turns out that he has a wisdom bonus.
It doesn't matter. He's rolled like an 18 twice.
It's how the dice go, you know.
Right. Listen, I could maybe. I can't necessarily do anything to him, right? But I can get animals to do things to him and make him leave. What if the
bird just really has to, go? It just goes on him.
Exactly.
He's got to go wash off.
Exactly. So I can either, well, I can cast Speak with Animals regardless, right? And then I can talk to my bird, or I can also conjure animals.
Oh shit. That's up to you. 'Cause
I could also.
Yeah.
I
Do
could
you have
also
any
just,
other
like,
ideas?
attempt to curse him again.
You can.
Oh, I can also do something to help with you as well. Depending on what you want to do, I can make an illusion of some form appear on him. And if he
right.
fails save, but that's going to depend on him fell on his save.
Come here, you. Hi. What are you up to?
Basically, like, if you send your bird over, I can make it look like the bird goes on him and it smells like bird shit. That's what I can do. If you're so inclined to do that, because an investigation check.
So you're effectively pretending like a bird is shitting on him, and it's not really shitting on him.
Yeah, that's something I can do, and it'll smell like it. So, if Mishka wants to put the bird at harm's way,
Yeah. I could also try. Man.
Choices.
yeah. So what's the
I'll
plan?
just be like, please follow, and I'll cast command, I guess.
Okay.
Wisdom DC 16. I don't know if this one's a charm. It probably is.
I don't think command's charm.
That's
It might not be.
It doesn't mention charm in the text.
no,
No, it does not.
but you will say like you probably would be like one word, just follow, because it's one word.
Yeah, please, and then casting follow.
He'll kind of raise an eyebrow and be like, "Again, skills. You just ain't my type. I mean, I know a couple. If you're looking to pick up someone, I've heard about a few guys. They into your kind of thing. Smoothies and scalies. I understand how it can be. A little bit of the exotic life. Maybe try the internet. Try looking it up."
Okay.
Flattered though. Flattered.
There are
You're
alcoholic.
lost. I'll stay as I'll walk away and now distance myself from the conversation.
There's like alcohol and stuff, correct? And then the stuff we got around. Okay, so Doc is kind of gonna go like somewhere hidden, shift into something else. Just pick up some alcohol and just go trip over and have Tomishka have one of your animals trip me next to him and spill the alcohol on him, so he has to go wash up.
Alright. I will need a perform check from you then.
I will bardic myself. Performance. And then
Roll this d20. I think you needed that bardic.
Oof. Ooh.
So be like, watch it, you klutz! This suit's a rental. I don't keep. Oh man.
Sorry, so sorry. I just had a little too much, and Docs will pull out some money and just here you can get it cleaned later and maybe
Whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, Iran, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and wash up. I'll be a few minutes. She'll be like, yes, whatever. Just hurry yourself up.
Okay.
You'll hear her go like, we'll be leaving soon. As soon as our conversation here is finished with these nice men who seem like they want to invest in our business.
Docs will then drunkenly stumble away into another hiding spot, become the person he's impersonating, and walk up to her.
Okay.
And as he is walking up to her, the first thing that's going to happen...
I'm gonna follow the guy a bit more discreetly at this point.
Okay.
Towards
Then
that.
you will... well, we'll worry about what Vercel's doing in a minute. Let's have... Dox.
As Dox walks up to her, he's going to mutter something under his breath. Hexblade curse her. So she is now Hexblade cursed, and I'm going to describe what that looks like if permitted.
Sure.
This kind of like spectral blade appears and thrusts into her and just stays there cursing her. And then as that happens, Dox will sort of go up to her, grab her head, and if she's next to a table, bash her into the head, grab her neck, and loose 2 Eldritch Blasts into her neck.
Okay.
It's Eldritch Blast in time. Blast 1, Blast 2.
Certainly will hit. I'm not going to say damage really matters at this point in time.
I just wanted to roll to see what happens.
But, she'll kind of glance towards you as you're walking up and being like, it didn't take you long. I just assume you're going to clean that up after you get back. And it'll just be this kind of surprising oof as the people in front of her will be like, what the hell? So you kind of like blast into her, kind of exploding out her throat. It's like this blood shower is going to kind of come out, you know, like just this like, you know, from her throat as you're just like blasting into it for like, you know, the...
And as requested by the Dawn, Dox will, through the throat hole, pull the tongue down.
Okay. What are you doing now? The people in front of you are obviously reaching into their jackets.
Now I am going to... let's see... I'm just gonna check how many people can I target with the spell. So I cast... How many people are there?
Obviously there are 3. They're the people that she was chatting with. Other than that, there are probably at least a dozen people nearby who have seen what has happened. Their reactions are probably going to be slower than 3 in front of you, I will say.
I'm going to... got 2 spells I can use. I gotta see who this targets. Each creature within this area. Okay, so Dox is going to pull out a component, wave it around, mutter something, hypnotic pattern around him to stun these people if possible. It is a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. I'm just going to roll a couple d20s here. Let's just see what I roll. Okay. One of them is certainly not... yes, one of them is certainly fine. The other 2 look a little, like, confused.
Yep. And then, if he's still taking his turn to react, Dox will then attempt to cause fear on the one who is not confused.
I mean, the one that's not confused is going to shoot at you first.
Go ahead. Yep, he can take a shot. That hits.
Yep, that hits. We'll just roll this, like, D8. It'll take 7 from bullet. And then a fear. So, like, we'll just roll that. Oh, yeah. After shooting you, you know, like, it's just that kind of, like, you know, like, that, like, you know, like, just definitely messed up there afterwards.
And
shaking
then,
after shooting you.
And then...
And you'll hear the words, it's a fucking witch! Swear allegiance to some kind of dark power! Get him, everybody!
And then... Bap. When I can take my next action, invisibility.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna roll this first. He will not hit you. I'll shoot again as a bullet will fly off, as now there's a lot of commotion as there's gunfire going on. Certainly. If you want to get away, you certainly can before there's mounted any kind of response at this point in time.
Yeah, they clearly saw who did it. I will leave, find a quiet spot, and become the form docs was disguised at it initially.
Mhm.
And then end my invisibility and pull out I guess a gun Docs doesn't know how to use and go figure out what is happening.
Okay, why don't we take our second break here, and then we'll figure out what's going on for Cell, because that
I'm
might...
so glad I had the second part of the plan. It's going to help you so much.
Because there's let's see how this works. Anyway, so if you need drink, snack, bathroom break, go ahead and do it. This should be just a shorter one. It's whenever we're back after a quick break here, and we'll finish up with the episode here, probably resolving the wedding. So be back in a minute. Bitty bloppity bloop, a bloopity bloopity bloop, and back in. Hey, we've returned.
Hello.
Marcel, you're following a very upset man to the bathroom. The thing is, because it's like these are like outdoor venues, the bathroom's a little bit of a walk away. Granted, it's not so far. They like set up the arboretum's outside the castle, and the castle is like kind of like a place that kind of has like a level of tourism, but it also has some areas set up for like events and stuff that you can do. You know, it's got some historical value to it, but it certainly has installed bathrooms that are not too much of a difficult walk, maybe like a little bit away, you know, so walking for a little distance, you know, walking up to the castle, you know, going into where the bathrooms are.
I'm going to try and stay out of his sight for now.
Roll stealth with advantage, because it's kind of a busy area, so it's easy to be a little stealthier, you know, there's plenty of people moving in and out at this point in time.
Go up in a minute. I don't know why my sheet sucks, but it does.
Let me just check his perception.
Perfect.
Alright, he's going to roll a perception. Doesn't seem to notice you. At least if he does, he's not responding.
Okay.
But he's acting definitely as if he doesn't notice you. He'll be kind of grumbling him to himself, kind of like looking at like, you know, checking the stain, you know, like, ah, god damn it. He probably has some like napkins or something that he had. He's like kind of like trying to like clean it up just like on his while he's walking, you know, to keep things from like soaking in too much. He's kind of hurrying off to the bathroom.
Well, gets to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to cast silence.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then I'm going to follow him into the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to like pin him down and like basically act like I'm just going to like, and then start like kissing his neck and stuff.
All right. Make an athletics check.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, I'm gonna roll this here. Okay. Well, those are two bad rolls. So yeah. You're definitely gonna be like, as he's trying to like getting in there, he'll like it'll be that sort of realization, like you're in the mirror for a second, as then you're like on top of him, like going for his neck. You know, you have him technically in a love grapple.
Mm-hmm.
He is just gonna at first try to just push you off. I guess in this case, athletics for you. Mm-hmm.
My sheet's so weird.
Yes. Oh, okay. So he'll kind of push you off, like probably into another guy that's there, as everybody's in there is like, what's going on? It's quiet in here. As they're like looking at like what's going on here, and it's like,
yep.
and he's gonna be like, you know, like he's probably saying something you can't say it. He's like,
yeah.
You know, he'll be very emotive, you know, kind of like probably yelling something. Seems very unhappy with you.
And I'm going to pull him into one of the stalls.
Give me another athletics check then. I'm just going to roll this d20 for him. Okay. Okay. He'll keep you away. It looks like he's gonna just like reach into his boot and pull out a knife.
And I'm gonna go for him one more time.
All right. I'm just gonna have him do something here. Just he ready to knifing. You're certainly gonna get knifed. Let me just check how much damage it would be. Dagger. Oh man. Oh. Why is that so much damage on here? I don't understand that.
I can take it.
Well, it's like the NPC
Probably.
I'm using. It's like it's like extra damage or something. But anyway,
Yeah.
it'll be it's 7.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. As you're gonna get like a kind of gash into you. If you do want to continue to try to grapple him, go ahead.
I'm gonna mostly just make sure to get some blood smeared on him, and then vamoose.
Okay, well, why don't you make one more athletics check then? And I'm gonna make this check here. See if like how well you get him. Oh, he did not roll well this time. Maybe if you're not going for the serious.
There we go.
Yep. So yeah, you can definitely get him a lot more speared with blood this time. Kind of like get in there. So you have control of like a hold on, and then like you can kind of then push away and like move away then.
Yeah.
As he's like looking very confused, and there's a bunch of dudes in there that are looking very confused. As like the silence is like, it's like, like as the silence ends, you can hear from the bathroom. It's like, dude, that girl just tried to rape you.
Yep. And I'm gonna go.
Yeah, they're like looking like really weird and stuff, and like weirded out. Anyway, so your
But now we have two very different, disparate stories about what happened.
there's a lot of
That's
weird
fine
stories
with me.
about what's going on, but the possibility of weird sexual assault by lizard folk in the bathroom is definitely a thing now.
Yeah.
Even if it was fake, it still confused the crap out of him and made him think that's what was going on. You certainly did a
Yep.
good job of it.
But again, the goal was to get blood on him.
It worked. It worked. So, the result of all this. Oh my.
I'm probably not going back to the party, by the way.
That's probably a good idea. That's probably a good idea.
I mean, I'm just gonna cure myself with cure wounds, and then mend my clothes, and deal with the fact that I have bloodstains because I don't have prestidigitation.
Okay. So, first things first that's going to occur. There's going to be 2 desperate stories here, and I'm going to kind of narrate what's going on with each of the stories and kind of how they compare together. So first off, we have the assassination. Certainly, Docs, you did a good job of showing off an assassination. A bunch of people with weapons kind of show up. A couple of elven people kind of show up and look to be kind of looking around, using various magical abilities that they may already have to try to track down this person that used a bunch of spells and stuff here and assassinated this person. Obviously, they haven't called the authorities quite yet. There's kind of like a little bit of like their own internal investigation that starts to be going on as the party is kind of broken up a little bit. There's definitely like an interruption in the flow of it. In the meantime, in a certain bathroom somewhere, this person, thinking that nothing of it, deciding to, just because he's been asked to be on his best behavior here, will listen to some suggestions to some regular folks that were in the bathroom, non-Mafia related from the groom side of the family, and he's calling the authorities. The cops will soon show up much earlier than was expected. So now there's this rumor going around that someone called the cops. And now the cops are showing up at the bathroom, checking out the party, finding out about the body in the party, And, like, we're here for a sexual assault. There's a murder.
Oof.
There's a description that has to be given out at this point in time. And it turns out the description of the person that's wanted for murder now is the same person who was sexually assaulted. So this has gotten weird.
Yeah. If only I mean, if I got the suggestion, I would have done this in a place that had less people, but I took what I could get.
A relatively busy bathroom because it's like the closest bathroom to the party of a couple hundred people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I figured. Wait, how many people were in there? I kind of figured there was only like 2 or 3.
Like a couple other. Yeah, probably like 2 other people. There's probably one leaving as you were coming in, and then there was probably like 2 others in there. Like one was in a stall, one was at like one of the urinals when everything went down, and like, you know, all of a sudden noticed that like my pee isn't making noise anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, what? You know, it's like this sudden notice of the silence, and then like, you know, like kind of looking around and like notice something. The stall guy probably came out like last, you know, but still, after like the first few turns of stuff. So, yeah, honestly, the guy's gonna be arrested pretty rapidly. Yeah, which is not good, probably, but it happens, unfortunately. So, you will be contacted by the Dawn Docs after all is said and done here. You did some fine work for me, Docs, but unfortunately it turns out things didn't go quite as well as you planned. Your target, the one that you were you appear to be, got in some trouble. Called the cops.
Fuck.
Things didn't go well. He's in it with the authorities now. As far as they know, they haven't asked him any major questions. My family does have some pool out in this area, and I've kept the cops quiet. Right now he's in detention, but they're going to have to question him sometime, and I do not believe he has magical abilities. Something that you have, and obviously used. Looks like some crazy woman tried to assault him in the bathroom. Was too attracted to him.
Disgusting.
Well,
I'm probably like,
well, he's just going to make an assumption at this point in time because Dawn doesn't know. As you say, elven women are some of the most passionate in the world. When they want you, they know how to get you.
I know that one a little too well.
Unfortunately for him, this issue kind of came up. It was a good plan up until then. You must do something to take care of this. He has to be quieted before he might say something. Perhaps make it look like he took care of himself. If you know what I mean.
Easy enough.
You have a few hours to take care of it. That's as long as that my influence will cause delays in questioning him.
Alright, I can do it.
Good luck to you. Alright. But I think before we continue, that might be a wonderful place to stop it rather than breaking into a police station to fake a suicide of a guy.
Right.
Because loose ends.
Conveniently, I have a spell for this.
I didn't think someone associated with the Mafia would call the cops.
The thing is, this was a public event that was only about 33 to 50% Mafia. So, again, and most of the Mafia are well-behaved. So if something happens, they're going to call the cops. When this obvious member of the Mafia got killed, that's why they were going to call the cops after a little while. You know?
Yeah.
This was...
Nah, I just didn't expect it. I just didn't expect him to call the cops, you know?
He was ordered to be on his best behavior, not cause any trouble, because, remember, the woman was causing trouble, technically. So...
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I know. But it's fine.
It's fine. It has...
Look, after he got, 3 18s, I took what I could get.
You did roll really awesome. I found like a CR9 like rogue infiltrator stats, and you know what he had? He had 2 to his charisma, 8 to his wisdom. You really needed those penalties for the wisdom. The charisma was just a crapshoot for the Banes, but oh man, he rolled well, too well.
And I should have just gone with the boring plan of stabbing the woman. This is more fun.
This is more fun. You certainly like it. It was more of a show. It probably had a lot more of like a huge blood splatter that spread over a number of people and across probably like a table of food that was now ruined because of the massive squirt of throat blood all over it. You know, as the sort of throat just exploded out. Yeah, much more fun. Very evil, though, too. Why don't we'll go around, give shout-outs to who people are, where to find them. We're going to end here a little early, just because this is a very convenient point in time to end it. Just because it sounds like you have a couple hours to come up with an infiltration plan, get in there, and get rid of someone before they speak. And make it look like a suicide. Anyway, you know what? Let's do a little different. I've been always going counterclockwise. Let's go clockwise this week. I'm being crazy. We'll start with Momo.
Change? I don't like change.
Too bad.
Hi, I'm Momo. You can find me on Twitter with at Adishu, or you can find me on Twitch, Momo Shu. As soon as my internet is sorted, I am going to start streaming again. I just need to figure out why my internet is being so spotty lately.
Okay. We'll go to Worm.
I'm Diamond Worm. You can find me on twitch.tv/DiamondWorm or at DiamondWorm on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I stream on Thursdays at around 11:30 PST. That's like 2:30, I want to say, EST.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, lately I've been streaming Warframe.
Okay. And then finally, last but certainly not least, Jinx.
I'm Jinx Jams on Twitch and Twitter. I might be streaming tonight some Binding of Isaac with one of my friends. If not that, then I might be streaming some GTA roleplay. I should probably stream at some point.
Myself, Dracovin. You can find me here most days. A lot of times it tends to be RPG stuff now with occasional gaming streams where I've been doing couch co-op for Perfection and Stardew and some other games that are kind of on my agenda. As for, of course, the main schedule of games, you can check us out here at This Game every Monday at 2, which hopefully next week we'll definitely have some adventures in Insanity with the stuff going on with this last part of the wedding stuff. Hey, you added a little bit of extra to the wedding. I'm fine with that, because then maybe like Jess will be fine with that schedule. Then tomorrow, 2 p.m., Legacies of Kain, Vampire the Masquerade game. It's a fun one. We got Worm in that game, and they are in Kenya right now, having some Kenyan adventures. Saturdays, 8 p.m., Children of Wrath. That is a quagmire of adventures set in a Magic the Gathering world of Dominaria. That's D&D 5e that I would recommend seeing just because it's Insanity. It's always Insanity and always fun. And, of course, discussing tabletops on Saturday is the main schedule. So, yeah. Everybody, have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week. If you can't join me for anything or any of us for anything else, stay safe, stay sane, stay healthy, and hopefully we'll see you next time here. So until that time, though, farewell, everybody. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Bye.